أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم دستور مدد يا صاحب السيف شبك بس يا رباني مدد نوعت أربعين وتؤذلن تخال ماتيرنز حسبنا الله تركتنا الصحبة في الحال من جميعات. This association is for people who wants to improve themselves. The Sohbet is for people who wants to improve themselves and to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is not for those ones who already think they reach to somewhere because they experience a couple of things here and there, or because they think they understand with their head what they read about certain tasawwuf matters in books. And they say we are not in need of association or sohbet. It's not for those. Sohbets are for those who understand the reality of their ego. That, as Shaykh Efendi said, as Shaykh Mawlana has said, the ego has animal characteristics, the characteristics of all the animals in existence inside the ego. Sohbet is for those who understand that their ego is worse than those ones. The sohbet, the association, are for those that understands that their ego is evil, that their ego is worse than shaitan, worse than Abu Jahil, worse than Abu Lahab, worse than Namrud, and worse than Firaun. Those who don't even know ego, but they know tasawwuf, they haven't reached nowhere. Still at a very different level. Those who say, my ego have reached somewhere and I don't need sohbet, those ones, they're in big trouble. Because the only place for the ego is under your feet. It's not for the ego to reach somewhere. And those who are not looking to find ways in how to trick and trap their ego, they are going to be tricked and trapped by their egos. And while in the way of Allah, in Siratul Mustaqim, they're going to be tricked and they're going to be trapped. And in the Siratul Mustaqim, thinking that they're in the straight way, going in the way of Allah, their ego has already trapped them and they took a deviation somewhere, detour somewhere, that the goal is not Allah and His Prophet. That's what happens when you let your ego to reach somewhere and to lead you. That's what happens. Who are looking in these days to learn about their egos? Who are looking in these days to listen to those ones who are going to tell them something about their egos? Who are those? Where are those these days that wants their ego to be under their feet and to learn how to put the ego under their feet? Where? Where are they? Including here, including those ones who are listening. Where are they? Gone. Because everybody thinks they reached to somewhere. Some saying, I have so much ilm, I don't need the ego's knowledge of the ego. That time you are the worst of the alims. Some people saying, I've reached to certain spiritual understanding, certain stations, and I don't need to look at my ego. Those stations, shaitan has reached higher station than you. Whichever station you are, you cannot say that you have filled every spot in this world with a sujud, with a sajda. Can you? Who can say that? Who can say that they filled every space of this earth, putting their forehead to the ground? Shaitan has. Which alim has done that? So don't be so proud of yourself. Awliya, they will never claim that anyway, to begin with. They can be split into thousands and hundreds of thousands of pieces, cells, to pray, which the awliya Allah, they can. Like Shaykh Abdulkerim Gilani Hazrat Dari split himself to thousands. And he prayed. But they never claim. They will not. But these days, 21st century, murids claiming something. 21st century Muslims claiming something. Empty claims. Empty. You're claiming such high stations, but we look at your life, nothing but chasing after dunya 24 hours. We look, you're busy with dunya, busy with the worries of dunya, busy with the cares of dunya, busy with the ambitions of dunya, busy with just fulfilling your ego and your desires, not running after the way of Allah. So who are left? No one. No one is left. No one is left really to understand and to put the ego under their feet. But the danger of the ego, it is so severe, it is so poisonous, that even the Holy Prophet ﷺ, even him, who can say they are higher? Oh, millions are saying they are higher than him. Muslims. Millions from the Ahli Tasawwuf are saying they're higher than the Prophet, because they say, oh, you're still stuck in the ego station, brother? Still talking about the ego? We move to Ma'rifat, we move to Hakikat. You're still talking about the ego? They must be higher than the Prophet. Why? Because Prophet ﷺ said, Ya Rabbi, do not leave me to my ego, even for the blink of an eye. Even for the blink of an eye, don't leave me to the ego. But these days, murids are sleeping, not blinking. Sleeping. The ego is saying, sleep. Zikr is happening, sleep, they sleep. Sohbet is happening, sleep, they sleep. Time they're supposed to sleep, they're awake, running here and there with Malayani nonsense things. But when the angelic lights are coming, the blessings are coming, that time they get so heavy. You're supposed to get light, they get heavy, and they go to sleep. As I'm talking right now, he's sleeping there. See? But they want things from this dunya. That means they're only alive and awake of what the ego wants. So who are left in these days to learn the danger of that ego that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do not leave me in the hands of my ego, even for the blink of an eye. Who is left to speak, to teach, to be in Jama'at, to learn from that? Maybe a handful here and there. That is the greatest struggle. That is the Jihadul Akbar. That is a struggle that the Prophet ﷺ said, we have returned from the smallest struggle to the big one. The struggle against your nafs. Billions saying, nafs? I don't have nafs. I have spirit. They're interested in spirit, spirituality. Everyone's saying, I'm very spiritual. Everyone is saying, I have high spirituality. But we're looking, your lifestyle, it is not following what the prophets and the awliyas they're teaching. So what kind of spirituality that is? I have high spirituality, but we're looking and we're speaking, we're asking, we're testing maybe. No knowledge, no understanding, no nothing about the ego. But number one, to claim, I see this prophet and I see that saint. I get this feeling and I know this. And everyone is saying, Allah knows my heart. My heart is clean. My heart is pure. I may do so many things, but my heart, Allah knows my heart. Number one to say that. Men's and women's. Subhanallah. Allah knows your heart. Do you know your heart? Do you know what's in your heart? Everyone is concerned about spirituality, but no one is concerned and worried looking what Prophet ﷺ is worried about, which is what? The ego that is so dangerous that Holy Prophet ﷺ is asking Allah for the ego not to overtake him even for the blink of an eye. Yeah. So, millions are thinking this is nothing. This is not important. Millions thinking they are better than the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Maybe. May Allah protect us from that. Check yourself. I'm checking myself. You need to check yourself every day. You need to understand where you have succeeded and where you have failed. How are you going to check yourself? How are you going to measure? What is your gauge? If you have a Shaykh, it's very easy. That Shaykh is in front of you. Don't think just because you feel that you love the Shaykh so much that you are saved one. Yeah, you're saying you love the Shaykh so much, but the Shaykh says something, small thing, just to tell you something. Up. They explode, especially the women's. Explode. Just one thing. Oh, Shaykh is keeping quiet. I love you, I blah, 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 blah. He's seeing something, you're doing something not too good. And he's saying, watch out. Whoop! They explode. How can you say this? You don't know what is in my heart. You don't know this, you don't know that. You should do this. People did it to Shaykh Effendi. I'm not surprised. If people start doing it, watch yourself. These words, it is not to make fun of anyone. These words, to give lesson to you and to me. I'm not excluding myself from this. If we claim that we love, if we claim that we are following in the way, we claim that we are murids, then why are we not behaving like that? That means still the ego is complete control. Still the ego is saying, just say you love him, then everything is going to be okay. There's proof for everything. The proof of the shahadat has to be proven. The proof of the shahadat is in 4 other pillars that we have. In the prayer, in the fasting, in the zakat, in the hajj. That is the proof of the shahadat. Otherwise, you're saying shahadat, it's just lips. It hasn't reached to the heart yet. So we must watch ourselves, not to claim something. Watch ourselves. See what is in our heart. Do you know your heart? Be with those ones who are specialists of the heart. Not me, of course. Our Shaykh, Shaykh Maulana, those trainers that you think your heart is good, but your heart is irregular. Your heart is diseased. You don't feel it, you don't see it, you don't know nothing. Then don't claim something. And when someone tells you, stop right there. Clean yourself up. This is wrong. Don't fight back. Of course you can. Anyone is doing as they like. But you're going to suffer a lot that time. Believe me. You're not listening to the Shaykh, you're going to suffer a lot. Dunya and Akhirat. You follow, very easy. May Allah make us to wake up and to understand that to know the Spirit is to know what causes the Spirit to be suffocated. To be spiritual means to know what are the barricades and barriers and veils that is stopping you from being spiritual. To be healthy means what? To know what are the diseases and sicknesses out there and that you avoid them. No? Isn't that what's being healthy is? This is good and this is bad. Avoid the bad and take what is good. You want to be spiritually healthy. Understand what is healthy for you and what is unhealthy for you spiritually. Stay away from those things that is going to poison you. Stay away from situations and people that are going to poison you. Stay away from thoughts and actions and intentions that are going to poison you. Stay with those ones, clean ones, pure ones, who are looking at themselves very strictly and who are holding on tightly to the Shaykh and to the way of the Prophet ﷺ, and they're not looking at what the whole world is saying to them. Stay with those ones who are asking you to be clean for the sake of the Prophet ﷺ, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That time your dunya will be easy, your grave is going to be easy, and your hereafter will be easy. May Allah make us to be from those ones, inshallah, for the sake of Sahibul Saif and Sultan al-Awliya. Wa min Allahu tawfiq al-Fatiha. Amin.